Just give me a few seconds and I'm going to send this to Facebook real quick. So could let everybody over there know I'm live so they could view over there. Nobody really has to come on YouTube if they don't want to. But I'm just going to go through this from, through this whole chapter. This whole book. Sorry. This whole book from 18 and finish it off to 31. And then I'm going to try and do something for tomorrow. Just give me a second to mute my mic. Sorry about that. But I'm going to send this on over to Facebook, let them over there view again before we get into this study here. Or just say, before we get into this reading here. Okay, let people over there know I'm live. And then we'll start. Just starting off because last time my connection was kind of bad and I had to stop the video. So we're just going to pick it up back at chapter 18 and finish this out. Let's see here. Share screen here. So we're going to finish this out and then I'm going to go into the book of Ephesians. I'm going to start doing the book of Ephesians next. Ephesians is a pretty small book. And then I want to cover Revelation because it's a lot of stuff going on. As you guys will see what I posted on Facebook, seeing that I can't post all information over here. And if I do, I'll get, these copyright strikes, even though there's no copyrights on them. But anyway, it's another story. So let me just check on my connection and make sure everything is okay so that I won't have another mishap like with the other video I had. So let's see here. Let's go on YouTube and see how good this connection is working before I even start. All right, so go over here. Sorry, guys, you got to give me a few seconds. I want to make sure everything is working properly. All right, so everything's fine. So I got to make sure I'm looking at this while I'm doing this. So in Proverbs 18, it says this: Through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh an intermediate with all wisdom. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but his heart may discover itself. When the wicked come, then come also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. I want to look at this word ignominy or whatever this is. Let's look at this word here. Figure out what that word is for those that probably don't know what that word means. I don't know what it means myself. So let's look at this word. So Proverb 18. And if you guys come in and you start chatting or whatever, I'm not focused on the chat really. So I won't be looking at the chat. I will be glancing over. I got my phone running on my live as well. So let's see here. This word ignominy, right? Shame, grace, dishonor, right? Contempt, shame, ignominy, shameful, a shameful deed. So it's used in these verses here. Is that a shameful deed, right? A shameful reproach, right? Let's just say that. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth call for strokes. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. He also that is slothful in his work, his brother to him that is a great waster. The name of the Most High is a strong tower. The righteous run into it, and it is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and has a high wall in his own conceit. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before dishonor is humility, right? I mean, before honor is humility. So those that will be honored will be humiliated, is basically what humility is, right? And, the destruction, before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, right? High-minded is basically what that word haughty means, I believe. He that answereth a matter before he heareth it. So many people try to answer something before they hear the equation of it. It is folly and shame unto him. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. A man's gift make a room for him, and bring him before great men. He that is first in his own cause seems just, but his neighbor come and search him out, or basically come and search him. The law cause contentions to cease, and part between the mighty. A brother offended is hard to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Death and fire are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Who findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtain favor of the Lord. The poor use entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Okay. So we're going to just keep going through this, because these words are written for a reason. And I'm reading it for a reason, because I don't add to or take away. Now, if it's something that needs to be explained, I explain it, but in the context of what the scriptures say, not my own understanding. Okay, so it says here, better is the poor that walk in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good, and he hastes his feet with his feet, and he that hastes with his feet sins, right? The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and the heart, and his heart frets, basically, against the Most High. Wealth make many friends, but the poor separate from his neighbor. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speak lies shall not escape. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that give gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him, and how much more do his friends go far from him? He pursue them with words, yet they are wanting to him. He that get wisdom love his own soul. He that keep understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speak lies shall perish. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. The discretion of a man defers his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. A king's wrath is as a roaring lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Most High. So, a wife that respects her husband is what the Most High blesses men with. But of course, in the state we're living in, those are like finding needles in the haystack, right? Slothfulness slothfulness cast into deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keep the commandment keep his own soul, but he that despises his way shall die. He that hath pity upon the poor lends to the Lord, or the Most High, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. Chasing your son, basically thy son, is like saying your son, right? So I'm just trying to read it out to make it sound simple enough for you guys to understand what I'm reading. Chasing your son while there is hope, and let not your soul spare for his crying. A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if you deliver him, yet you must do it again. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that you may be wise in the latter end. Talk about being wise in the last days. When it says latter end, it means the last days. Okay, and we're clearly living in the last days, where all knowledge and all understanding of the Most High is not really upon the earth. Because if it was, then judgment would not be raining down. Okay. And this is very clear when we understand in Scripture what it says, why the Most High is angry. Okay. He does get angry. He's not all just happy-go-lucky, man, sitting in a cloud, watching you daily and happy with your sin or with the sins of the world. Okay. He's not happy. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Most High, that shall stand. Okay, the counsel of the Most High is going to stand. Okay, all these devices that man created is going to fall. Everything. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Most High tendeth to knowledge, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. He that wastes his father and chase away his mother is a son that cause shame and bring reproach. Cease, my son, and hear the instruction that cause to cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err from the words of knowledge. The ungodly witness scorneth judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devour iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the backs of fools. Let's go into this next chapter, because this is what people need to practice doing more often. Reading the whole chapter. Okay. In about 45 minutes, I could cover 10 chapters. Right. But again, this needs to be done. Let every word be what it is written in the Bible. No adding in or taking out. Right. Keep everything written. Proverbs 20. This is what it says in the whole chapter. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. The fear of a king is as the roaring lion. Whoso provoke him to anger sin against his own soul. It is an honor for men to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? The just walk in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. A king that sit in the throne of judgment scatter away all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin, right? And we hear this guy, Perry the preacher, says he's cleansed from all, right? That's one that you guys should be using to destroy his whole doctrine. This is the one fatal blow to the whole fabricated sinless perfection thing, right? Diverse weights and diverse measures, both them are alike abomination unto the Most High. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Most High have made even both of them. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. It is not, saith the buyer, but when he is gone away, then he boasts. There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. Take his garment, that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Right? People that flatter with their lips, he says, meddle not with them. Right? Whoso calls his father or his mother, whoso curse his father or his mother, his lamp, right? What is that lamp? His lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness, right? Remember what it says in the scriptures, right? The commandment is in Proverbs 6. The commandment is a lamp. The commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. Reproof and instruction are the way of life. And this is the book right here, Proverbs, the book of reproof, instruction, and correction. Not a lot of people go to these Old Testament books because they think all this stuff in the Old Testament is done away with. And it's not. And you clearly see how wicked and lawless this world is becoming without God's laws. So it says here, an inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. Save not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Most High, and he shall save thee. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Most High, and a false balance is not good. So those that judge falsely and weigh out injustice, they're an abomination. That's what this is. Diverse weights, right? And false balance, right? False judgments, right? Man's goings are of the Most High. How can a man then understand his own way, right? The Most High directs every man's steps, right? So if the Most High is leading somebody into their truth or whatever, remember, we all don't have the same, the same information. We all got pieces to the puzzle, right? Everything should be considered, right? And done as the Bereans did. You search the scriptures daily to see if those things are true. Not use scripture to refute scripture. Doesn't work. It is a snare to a man who devour that which is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. A wise king scatter the wicked and bring the will over them. The spirit of man is the candle of the Most High, searching all the inward parts of the belly. So the Most High is going to search everything, all the hate, all the whatever. He doesn't care. He knows everybody's minds. He knows what you're going to think and what you're going to say and what you're going to do before you do it. And guess what? He allows you to do it. Because why? Well, he gave everybody a conscience to know what's right and what's wrong. If you choose to do right or wrong, that's your own doing, right? We got this clear understanding, right? We also have this clear understanding that anything that goes against scripture should be tossed out and should be considered false. So a lot of people hang on to a lot of false beliefs, but when you read the whole chapters, you'll understand better. That's why I read the whole book as well. Mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy. The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of the old man is his gray head. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil. So do stripes the inward parts of the belly. Okay, that's the end of that. Let's move on to the next chapter, right? That's how we do this over here. The king's heart, right? This is Proverbs 21, right? This is talking about, this is basically as you see, right? Let's just read this. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of man is right in his own eyes, but the Most High ponder the hearts, right? So every man thinks their way is right, but the Most High is the only one that knows what's right, and he's going to see in your heart, right? To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Most High than sacrifice. A high look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin, right? So this is a sin here, where we have this clear understanding. Unless we're going to toss this out and then say, hey, it's all about love, but then it's okay that we have a proud heart and a high, mighty look and prop ourselves up and put ourselves on this high pedestal and put down our fellow brothers, right? Because of stuff, that they don't find as truth or whatever. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. The getting of treasure by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of him that seek death. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The way of a man is froward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. So this talks about a lot about marriages and relationships and friends and family and how to conduct yourself as a natural human being. And then it gives you warnings about when you go against what was written in your heart, right? The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor find no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise. And when the wise is instructed, he received knowledge, right? The righteous man wisely consider the house of the wicked, but the Most High, Father, Yah, overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. So anybody that's being wicked, he's gonna overthrow you, period. He's the one who's in control of everything, right? So if you're not teaching his words in truth, yeah, he will break you down. I mean, we got plenty of examples. Just look at David, look at Solomon, look at all the other people that rebelled back in those ancient times, right? What about also Pharaoh? He overthrew Pharaoh when Pharaoh hardened his heart, right? So again, we have plenty of examples in the Bible how the Most High will overthrow the house of the wicked, or overthrow the wicked for their wickedness, right? Whoso stopped his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. Let's talk about when you don't help the poor people that you're walking past, and you see them and you see they're hungry, and they need something to eat, and you got a couple of dollars in your pocket, and they say, hey, can you help me get something to eat? And then you just walk right past them. Well, when you're in that same situation, the same is going to be done to you. Remember, every man must reap what he sows on earth. Every man. And there's no favoritism, right? We understand this. A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. It is a joy to do. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than
Here is your Storm Track 12 Weather Authority update.
Okay, Storm Track 12, whatever. Then with a contentious and angry woman. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise. Right? Remember, we get this in this parable. Let's just this is a parable that ties in with a New Testament parable, and I'm gonna show you. Right? Let's see what it says here. There is to be desired. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up, right? So let's see here. There's this parable, right? Let's look at this parable. So this is a parable about these 10 virgins in Matthew 25. And it says here, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps, right? Let's look at this. So we see there's this oil mentioned here, and this oil is in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up, right? Let's look at this. This is what this is talking about here, about these 10 virgins. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. We know the bridegroom is the Messiah, right? 5 of them were wise. We see this word wise. And 5 of them were foolish, right? So we look at this and we see this. There's treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. Let's look at this. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil, right? We see this, right? The wise took oil in their vessels with their lamp. While the bridegroom tarried, they slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom comes. Go ye out and meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, right? This is what the foolish is going to be asking the wise when it's too late. Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But rather go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. And what happens when a door is shut? Afterwards came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. And he answered and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, I know you not. And then we have this warning here. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man come. So we have this understanding. We must be wise, right? And fill our lamp full of oil, right? And keep it that way. But again, you guys will understand that when you take your personal walk inside these scriptures and read it, meditate on it, right? And keep reading. And then look out into the world and see everything that he was speaking of being fulfilled. And that's when you're going to have your wake-up call. That's when it's going to be wake-up time for everybody. He that fall after righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scaleth a city of the mighty and cast down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keep his mouth and his tongue keep his soul from troubles, right? Because we understand that in the scriptures it says here, every idle word a man shall speak, right? Every idle word, every word that comes out your mouth, every word is being written down. Matthew 12:36. And it says here, but I say unto you that every idle word, and he says that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give an account for thereof in the day of judgment. So we understand that we're going to get judged for what comes out of our mouth, right? We also have that understanding that what comes out of the mouth comes from the heart, right? So what the words you speak come from your heart, or else you wouldn't speak them in the first place, right? Again, we have these understandings when we read scripture. So this is why it says, whoso keep his mouth and his tongue, keep his soul from troubles. And it says here, proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. He covet greedily all day long, but the righteous give and spare not. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bring it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but a man that hear speak constantly. A wicked man hardens his face, but as for the upright, he directs his his way. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Most High. The horse is prepared against the day of battle. That's the last days. But safety is of the Most High, okay? So we know that the Most High is the one that's going to bring calamities, and he's going to also save those that obey him from the calamities, right? Because he's in control of it all. Now, next chapter, let's get more of this instruction and reproof. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and poor meet together. The Most High is the maker of them all. See, so we have that clear understanding. A prudent man foresee the evil and hide himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So prudent men foresee evil and hide themselves, right? They know how to get out of the way. But the simple, they're like, that's not going to happen to me. That can never happen to me. And then they're punished, right? By humility and the fear of the Most High are riches and honor and life. That's why when people try and humiliate me, when I talk about certain things, I don't really care. I know what the scriptures say about humility, right? Being humiliated, right? You get honor and riches in life, right? Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that do keep his soul shall be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Now, this is clearly understood, right? Just think about when you teach your children from the day they're when the day they're old enough to walk. From the first, that's why it says train up a child, right? You train your children to learn how to walk when you take them on bike rides. Well, why not train them how to serve the Most High, right? And then when they grow up, when they get old, they won't depart from it, right? But, day and age, we have the school system bringing up our children, day and age, so again, that's just another story. You guys could just meditate on that one. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is the servant of the lender, right? The borrower, right? I went over this. When you take out a payday loan and you borrow money from somebody, right? The rich rule over the people. Yes, they do. We have a clear understanding of that, right? And the borrower is servant to the lender. So think about when you get a payday advance check or a payday advance when you take out a loan. Well, what happens when you get your next paycheck? Well, now you got to go over there. You done worked all this hard work and you took out a loan. Now you got to go pay that loan off. And then when you go pay the loan off, you know, you don't even have no money left, which makes you have to take out another loan, which make you a servant to the lender. And that's very understandable when you look at it on an economical basis. And you take everything in the scriptures written for literal. Okay. Ain't nothing metaphorical about most of this stuff unless the Most High is telling you personally or his son. He that sow iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He that have a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he give of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yeah, strife and reproach shall cease. He that love pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips shall the king shall be his friend. The eyes of the Most High preserve knowledge, and he overthrow the words of the transgressor. The slothful man saith, there's a lion without, it shall be slain in the streets. The mouth of the strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Most High shall fall therein. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, and the rod of correction shall drive it far from him, right? The rod of correction is that belt that you guys use to, you know, discipline your children. Like we've seen a couple of chapters before when it says, if you spare the rod, you know, you basically spare the rod, you spoil a child, right? In so many words. He that oppress the poor to increase his riches, and he that give to the rich surely shall come to want. Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing that thou keep them within thee. They shall withal be fitted in thy lips. That thy trust may be in the Most High, I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. Have not I written to the excellent thing? Have I not written to thee excellent things in the counsels and knowledge, that I might make thee known of certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that send unto thee. So, you know, it's a lot of people that come here, and that's why I held that question and answer yesterday, you know, dealing with the words of truth, right? Because that's what I'm all about. I'm trying to read it as it's written and speak truth only, right? Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. For the Most High will plead their cause and spoil the souls of those that spoil them. Make no friendship with an angry man, and a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Be not thou one of them that strike hands, nor of them that are sureties for debts. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee? Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings and shall not stand before mean men. So let's go on to the next one. Going in chapter 23, going all the way up to 31, blasting through this. Okay, so it says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Put a knife to thy throat. If thou be a man, give given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties. I believe that's what it is, dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom, right? He says, labor not to be rich and cease from your own wisdom and come to his wisdom, right? Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he think in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten, that shalt thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. And I see this happening a lot, right? But again, I'll let that be proven through the works of men. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. So this is also talking about how you're to discipline your children, because if you don't, well, you see a lot of children that have parents that their parents are like the child's friend. And the parent allows their children to go out and do whatever they want and don't discipline them. And then what happens? That child grows up, gets involved in the streets, starts doing bad, wicked things, and then eventually ends up dying by the life they live. And that's known. I mean, history and even society shows us that. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and thou shalt deliver his soul from hell. Right? Discipline your children and bring them up in these words, and you're going to deliver their soul. My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. Yea, my reign shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Most High all day long. For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. For the drunkards and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Hearken unto the fathers thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Buy the truth, sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So I buy the truth in these scriptures, but I ain't selling it, right? The truth is free, right? The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that beget the wise child shall have joy of him. The father and the mother shall be glad, and she shall bear thee, and she that bear thee shall rejoice. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. For a whore is deep in deceit, is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increase the transgression among men, the transgressors among men. So this is also talking about whorish women. In our modern days, we'll call them prostitutes. So again, the Bible has a lot to say about these things that we currently see and experience in our daily lives, and the warnings and instructions in such ways to do or not to do those things. And it says here, who hath woe, who hath sorrow, who hath contentions, who hath babbling, who hath wounds without cause, who hath redness of eyes, they that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. Talk about mixing drink, right? Strong drink, they call it back then. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth its color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright, right? You know how people swirl their glass with the wine in it? This is basically what it's talking about here. Anyway, at the last, it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. Yeah, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me, thou shalt thou say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. So this is talking about drunkards here, right? You ever been drunk and got your butt whooped by somebody because you was talking too much crap and you didn't feel it that night, but you woke up and you said, they have beaten me and I felt it not, right? They have stricken me and I was not sick, right? So this is talking about that, but they go out and seek the same thing again, right? That's what that's talking about. Go out and seeking that, that same thing again. But I used to be there myself, but that's why I could relate to that. Proverbs 24, be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Through wisdom is a house builded, but by understanding it is established. And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counsel there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. He that devised to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain, if thou sayest, behold, we knew it not, doeth not he that pondered the heart consider it, and he that keepeth my soul, do he not know it? It shall not shall he not render every man according to his works? So this is talking about, he knows what's in your heart. He knows what you're going to do before you do it. And when you do it, and you think that, oh, I could just go out and say whatever I want, talk to people however I want, go out and drink, go out and treat people however I want, and go out and murder and steal and all that stuff. Don't you know that you're going to be rewarded for your works? Again, people don't take that to heart. My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul when thou hast found it, and there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, but let not thine heart be glad when he stumble, lest the Most High see it and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. My son, fear thou the Most High and the King, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both? These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. So again, I'll judge everybody the same way, right? If you're doing something wrong and I see you doing something wrong, I don't care who you are. That's why I tell the BHI about themselves as well, right? Because they're going about speaking hate. You can't teach hate in the Most High's words. You can't do it. It doesn't exist, right? And if the Most High has something against people, that's his thing. We're commanded to speak the truth and bring as many as we can to repentance. That's it. That's our job. Whatever the Most High is going to do is what he's going to do in his due time. Okay. He that saith unto the wicked, thou art righteous, him shall people curse, nations shall abhor him. But to them that rebuke him shall be delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them. Every man shall kiss his lips that give a right answer. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause, and devise not with thy lips. Deceive not with thy lips, deceive not. Say not, I will do so to him as he have done to me, right? I will render to the man according to his work. We're not commanded to do that. This is the job of the Messiah or the Most High himself. That's why he says, say not, I will do to him as he have done to me. We're told it's no longer an eye for an eye, right? But if your neighbor, smites you on the left cheek, turn to him the right, But again, I went by the field of the slothful and by the vineyard of a man void of understanding. And lo, it was grown over with thorns, and needles have covered his face, the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and they want as an armed man. And we get this we get the same language throughout this whole book. It's saying the same thing, just reiterating it and beating it into your conscience. Do the right thing. Stop doing these things that he said don't do. This is the proverb of Solomon. Here it says here, these are also proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God, or Yah, to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. The heaven for height, and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel of the finer. For the finer. Take away the wicked before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the places of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, come up hither, and then that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest you know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold and pure pictures of silver, as an earning of gold and as an ornament of fine gold. So is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in thine time of harvest, so is the faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Whoso boasts himself against a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therein and vomited. Withdraw not thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, so hate thee. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul, and a sword, and a sharp arrow. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of troubles is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. As he that take away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon nitrate, so is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart, but it's really supposed to be a, but anyway. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. Right? We're told, like in the New Testament, the same thing. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. And if he comes and he's thirsty, give him drink. That way that hot coals will be dumped on his head and he will be put to shame. Right? For thou shalt heap, here it is right here. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Most High shall reward thee. Here it is right here. Okay, that's just what I was saying. So it's mentioned over and over. Even in the New Testament, these same words are said. The north wind driveth away wind, so doeth an angry countenance of so do an angry countenance a backbiting tongue. All right, whatever. I kind of probably slaughtered that reading there, but anyway, it is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house. This is the same thing that was just said in a few chapters before, right? As cold waters to a thirsty soul is good news from a far country. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain in a corrupt spring. It is not good to eat much honey, for men to search their own glory is not glory. He that hath no ruler over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So let's go on into the next chapter, going all the way up till 31. So we already covered 18 and we're on all the way up till 25. So, and that's all under an hour. So, oh, hello, Rita. I wasn't looking in the chat. I'm just now looking in the chat. Hello to everybody that are viewing and those that are not here, but on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Good morning. And yeah. So let's continue on. Proverbs 26 says this: as snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying. Yeah. So the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be likened unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off his feet, and drinks damage. The legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. He that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great Father, let's just call him that, the great Father, Yah, that formed all things both rewardeth the fool, and rewardeth transgressors. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool return to his folly. See thou a man wise in his own conceit, there is more hope for a fool than of him. A slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doeth a slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hands in his bosom, and it grieveth him to bring it out. To bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. He that passeth by and meddle with strife belong not to him, is like one that take a dog by the ears, as a madman who casts firebands, arrows, and death. So is the man that deceive his neighbor and say, am not I in sport? Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is contentious men to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. We heard the same words used in a few chapters before. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissemble with his lips, and lay up deceit within him. When he speak fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone will return upon him. It will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. So those that flatter with the mouth ruin people. Proverbs 7. Let's go here. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. So this is talking about those that say, I live for tomorrow, right? I live by the day because tomorrow is never promised. I want to make sure that if I was to go tomorrow, before I leave tomorrow, I will be leaving out of this world having known that I read some scripture and brought some truth instead of having my folly in the world and glory among men. That's not what these scriptures are for. It's to bring glory and honor to the King and bring many to repentance, right, through correction. And it says right here, let another man praise thee and not thine own mouth, a stranger and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kiss of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loatheth and honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. Excuse me, I just drank some water and I'm trying not to burp on camera or on my, burp in the mic. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doeth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity, for better is a neighbor that is near than a brother of far off. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproached me. A prudent man foresees the evil and hideth himself. We seen this a couple of scriptures ago, in a few chapters, but the simple pass on and are punished. Take his garment that is surety for stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. He that bless his friend with the loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse to him. Right? A continual dropping a continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which bewearieth him itself. Iron sharpens iron, and so man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoso keep the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, and so he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. As in water face answers to face, so the heart of man to man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. As the finning pot for silver, the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. Though thou shouldest bray a fool in a mortar among the wheat with the pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. Excuse me, guys. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and to look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doeth the crown endure to every generation. The hay appeareth, and the tender grass show itself, and herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance of thy maidens. So let's go into the next chapter here. Keep reading through these chapters. It's all right, Lynn. You can always view this over. It's not like YouTube's gonna ban this one. If they do, then they'll expose themselves for being wicked, because California is going through dire times. They're trying to get rid of the Bible over here. They're trying to ban the Bible in California. If you guys didn't know, it's Assembly Bill. I forgot. I was looking at it 2 years ago. I think it's AB 2931. Let me look. It's AB 2931. It was putting the bill 2017 in California, and let me see, AB 2931. I believe that's the bill. No, this is cooperation. Let me see. Bill that could ban the Bible. Let's look at this. California proposes a bill that would not have banned the Bible. Let's see. It is, where is this bill? Let me check this. What assembly bill is this? Because basically it's talking about, they say it's a false claim, but oh no, I don't want to sign up to AP. I just want to get the bill name here. It's AB 29 something. Let me just look. It's basically talking about something about, this whole same-sex thing, and something about freedom of speech or something. Oh, it's AB 2943. All right, I was close. All right, so this is the bill, AB 2943. So this bill unlawful business practices, right? Let's look at this. Let's look at what this says. So this is, once again, I said this was put in the office 2017. And it says that the Senate amended it in May 30th, 2018. Okay. So this is in California. Again, the legislator bill in 2017 to 2018, as I stated, because I was looking at this bill being published back then. And I also talked about it. But let's look at what it says here. It says AB 2943 has amended unlawful business practices, sexual orientation change efforts, right? So this is basically telling people that if these people that want to change their sex, if you come and try and change their mind, it is now against the law to go and use the Bible, basically, and in so many words. They don't word it that way, but in so many words, it says here, it says contemporary science recognizes that being lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender is part of the natural spectrum of human identity. No, it's not. And is not a disease, disorder, or illness. So this is going into basically, you know how the Bible speaks against homosexuality, right? Well, if you read those scriptures about that, you could be fined, right? And it's basically saying that you can't speak to these people to change their mind, right? But this is what California is about to pass, right? So again, that's end times, as it was in the days of Lot. What was going on in the days of Lot, people? What was going on in the days of Lot? Was it not a bunch of homosexuality? Let's look at the days of Lot. Let's just deviate a little bit. Let's look at this. It was in Genesis. It was in like the four Genesis 8, I believe. Let's look at this. The days of Lot. Let's look at what the days of Lot were like. Because Luke 17 says it's going to be just like those days. So let's just look at Lot, right? Lot, right? See what was going on. Oh, it's in Genesis 19. Okay. That's where the story is. Genesis 19. I mean, guys, sometimes got to. All right. So this is dealing with Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Says here, this is what was going on when in Lot's days, when he was walking the earth. And there came two angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground and said, behold now, my lords, right? And, you know, they always called these angels Lord because it's a title, right? Turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house and tarry all night and wash your feet, and you shall rise up early and go your ways. Excuse me. But they said, nay, we will abide in the street all night. This is in the previous chapter. This is these two angels sent down from the Most High to go and search out Sodom and see if there was any righteous men in the city, because these angels were sent to go and destroy the city, right? The wicked men, right? We'll see this in this chapter here, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because I'm trying to stay on Proverbs, but just to give you guys some understanding of how we're living in the days of Lot now, right? So they say they're going to abide in the street all night, and he pressed them greatly and said, and they turned in unto him and entered his house and made them a feast, and they did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Therefore, and before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round about, both old and young, right? All the people of every quarter. And this is what they said. And they said unto Lot, And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. Right? When they use this language back then, that we may know them, this ain't no, hey, let's shake hands and hug, right? You're going to find this out, what they mean by that we may know these angels. And they also knew that these angels were men, right? Let's see what this says here. And Lot went out of the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. And he says here, behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, stand back, and said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now we will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the men, even Lot, and came near to break the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, both, the old and the young, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, haste, hast thou here any besides son-in-law, thy sons and thy daughters? And whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Most High, and the Most High has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, and which married his daughters, and said, up, get ye out of this place, for the Most High will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. So his sons-in-laws, they didn't listen a lot, and they mocked him. They talked about him, right? And this is what happened. And when morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed with the iniquity of the city, with the wickedness, right? While he lingered, the men laid hold upon him, upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters. And the Most High, being merciful unto him, they brought him forth and set him without the city. So they took him out the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought him forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life, and look not behind thee, neither stay in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shown unto me, saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. So we understand when we read that. You guys can go and read that whole chapter. But Lot was old. He couldn't make it up the mountain. So he was asking, let me go to this nearby city here. And they, the angels permitted him to do so. And, the next morning, when that next morning arose, that's when fire and brimstone rained out from heaven, from the Most High, and destroyed that whole city. And just speaking on that, I know it's not in California. It's not only in California, Lynn. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, it's just, we see it's getting closer, right? But we're also told in the scriptures that the Most High is going to look. Let me just bring this out, right? We got to understand who's going to bring that about, right? All right, so the scripture says this, Amos 8, 11 and 12. I want to kind of get this where I could look at the scripture. All right, let's just do this. Amos 8. All right. Amos 8. We could go from 1 to 12, right? Amos 8. This is what the Most High was showing Amos, right? Says here, thus have the Most High showed unto me, and behold, a basket of summer fruit. And he said, Amos, what seest thou? And I said, a basket of summer fruit. Then said the Most High unto me, the end is come upon my people of Israel. I will not again pass by them any more. And the songs of the temple shall be howlings in the day, saith the Most High. There shall be many dead bodies in every place. They shall cast them forth with silence. Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail, saying, when shall the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsely the balances of and falsifying the balances by deceit, that we may buy the poor for silver and the needy for a pair of shoes, and sell the refuse of wheat. We could think about this on a modern day level, right? We see these sweatshops, right? Where they're, just think on that level. It says here, the Most High have sworn by the excellency of Jacob. Surely I will never forget any of their works. And shall not the land tremble for this, and every one mourn that dwell therein? And it shall rise up holy as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt. Excuse me. And it shall come to pass in that day, right? When it says this language, this is talking about the end times, right? So let's pay attention to what is being said. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon thy loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the morning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. And it says here, when he says, behold, the days come, this is end time language, right? So let's see what he says here. He says, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Most High. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro and seek the word of the Most High, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. They that swear by the sin of Samaria, and they the God, and they say, thy God, O Dan, liveth, and the manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again. So again, right, we see that in these last days is going to come a time when the Most High is going to bring a famine of hearing his words. So just think about that, right? When we look at these bills, we know that, this is all the works of the Most High. This is him fulfilling his prophecies, right? And he's doing it. And he's basically allowing men to do certain things that's going to end up fulfilling his prophecy. This is why we're given free will. And if we don't understand scripture, we might end up fulfilling some of these prophecies on the wrong end. That's why I always read daily and meditate in the word and truth, right? It says here, Proverbs 28. The wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are as bold as lions. For the transgression of the land of the land of a land, or many. Hold on. For the transgression of a land, many are the princes thereof, but by a man of understanding and knowledge, the state thereof shall be prolonged. A poor man that oppresseth the poor, that oppress the poor, is like a sweeping rain that leaveth no food. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, right? Everybody that says, oh, the law is, done away with. People like Perry that call the law sin, they praise the wicked, right? The law is not sin, it's righteousness, right? But such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Most High understand all things. Better is the poor that walk in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his way, though he be rich. Whoso keep the law is a wise son. So whoever's keeping the laws is a wise son. That's what the scriptures say. But he that is a companion of riotous men shame his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increase his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. He that turn his ear from hearing here's one. People need to ponder this one. He that turneth his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. So if you don't want to hear the laws of the Most High, he says your prayer is going to be an abomination. Whoso caused the righteous to go astray in the evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that have understanding search him out. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. He that cover his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confess and forsake them shall have mercy. Happy is the man that fear always, but he that harden his heart shall fall into mischief. As a roaring lion, as a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. The prince that want understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit. Let no man stay him. Whoso walk uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He that till his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. To have respect, here's one I see a lot. To have respecter of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. He that hasten to be rich hath an evil eye, and he consider not that poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuke a man afterward shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. Whoso robeth his father or mother, and saith, it is no transgression, the shame is the companion of a destroyer. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Most High shall be made fat. He that trusts in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walk wisely, he shall be delivered. He that give unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many curses. So those that turn their eyes to the poor, he says you're going to have many curses. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. So we got three more. 29. We got 2 more to bear with, guys. Bear with me. Oh, Lynn, I know you're agreeing with me. I'm just saying that. I know it's just not in California they trying to do this. I know that in other states they're passing certain bills to do this as well. I'm not disagreeing with you, Lynn, but I am agreeing with you. I know because I see, right? He that being often reproved harden his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Whoso love wisdom rejoiceth his father. But he that keep company with harlots, spendeth his substance. The king by judgment established the land, but he that received gifts overthrow it. A man that flatter his neighbor spread a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous do sing and rejoice. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contend with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it until afterwards. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The proud and the deceitful men together, the Most High lighten both their eyes. The king that faithfully judge the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof given wisdom, but a child let himself bring his mother to shame. But a child left to himself, When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yeah, he shall give delight unto thy soul. There is no vision, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keep the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. See thou a man that is hasty in his words, there is more hope for a fool than him. He that delicately bring up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abound in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. So those that are humble, you're going to be upholded. Many will flock to the truth. They're not going to flock to nonsense, okay? People are going to flock to those that read these scriptures in truth as well. Whoso is partner with a thief hate his own soul. He heareth cursing and bewayeth. That word is tricky to say. Basically, he don't. Let's look at what this word rayeth. What is bewray? Hebrew concordance. Because when I don't understand a word, I look it up. And I do that for everybody because I know you guys don't understand that word either. So let's go into Proverbs 29 and see what this word means. Oops. Proverbs 29. Let's take a look at this word. Where is it? It is right here. Should be, what is this verse I'm reading from? 24. verse 24. Be read. All right. So it's Nagad, right? And it means tell, show, declare, utter, show forth, expound, messenger, report. And that's what it means. Praise, declare. Okay, so that means to praise people and declare. And he heareth cursing and praise it not. All right, so that now we have a better understanding of what this word is saying here. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoso put his trust in the Most High shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but many man's judgment come from the Most High. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in his way is abomination to the wicked. Now let's finish these last two out, and then I'm going to go and take me a much-needed bike ride, get out of this house, get me some exercise, get my leg working. For you guys that don't know, I was in a car accident a while ago, and the reason why I try and take as many bike rides as I could is because when I'm sitting down for too long, you'll catch me like moving around a lot, and you'll hear me moving around in my live feed. Is because my leg is like, it just hurts when I sit down or I stand up for too long. So I gotta constantly keep moving my leg. So anyway, with that said, let's continue on. Proverbs 29. He, being that often reproved, harden his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed and without remedy. Let me see here. Proverbs 29. Oh, I'm trying to go to 30. What the heck am I doing? I already read that. The words of Agur, son of Jacob, I believe, even the prophecy, a man spake unto Ithil, even unto Ithil and Ukal. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fist? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? Right, and again, he established all the ends of the earth. I can't help it when I run into scriptures like this and I see ends of the earth, and it just reminds me that the earth has ends to it, right? But again, I'm called silly for believing that, the Most High could create a flat earth. But again, the more you hear these things, you'll hear it throughout scripture. But what is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? See this? This is talking about God the Father and his Son, right? So again, every word of Yah the Father, God, is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. So we're told not to add on to his words, lest he reprove us, and we be found liars. So this is why I read whole chapters, so I can understand and everybody else can understand as well, right? 2 things have I required of thee. Deny me not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. What is this food, right? Spiritual food, right? Scriptures. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord, or who is the Most High? Lest I be poor and steal and take the name of Yah in vain, the Father. I went over this yesterday in my Ask Questions, question and answer, the name of the Father. So you guys can go on over to the video I did yesterday and look at that in the question and answers thing. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. There's a generation that curseth their father, and doeth not bless their mother. There's a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There's a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There's a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives. They devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The horse lech have two daughters, crying, give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yeah, four things say not is not enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. The eye that mocketh at his father, and despise to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. And this is talking about that Revelation 20. What is that? Yeah, Revelation 20, I believe, or it's Revelation 15, where it talks about the eagles and, when the Messiah comes back. I got a video on that, the book of Revelation. It's not my video, but it's somebody I'm sub to, and I'm gonna probably link it in the description. As a matter of fact, since I'm almost done, let me do that now, and you guys go check that out. It's a pretty good video. Let's go here. Go here. And it is this video right here. So I'm going to link this in the description right now for you guys to see it. So give me a second as I link this video here in the description. This is the video I was talking about yesterday. Q&A, ask me anything pertaining to the Bible. In the beginning, I was just looking at this new solar company and at these panels that they're starting to put up. And I got my mic muted, so it's not really gonna do anything here. So I'm gonna go in here and we're gonna throw this in the description so that when you guys go to my video, go in the description and watch this video here. Make sure it's right here. So there you go. Save and done. Now let's get back into finishing this out. All right. So it says there be three things which are too wonderful for me. Yeah, for which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent on a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and say, I have done no wickedness. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which I cannot bear. For a servant when he reigneth, for a fool when he is filled with meat, for an odious woman when she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble flock, yet make they their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth all of them by bands. The spider taketh hold of her hands with her hands, and is in kings' palaces. There be three things which go well, yea, four are comely in going. A lion which is strongest among beasts and turneth not away for any. The greyhound and he goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in thy lifting up thyself, and thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the ringing of the noise bringeth forth blood. So the force of wrath bringeth forth strife. So last chapter, and we have covered the whole book of Proverbs. Indeed, you guys go look back. I did 1 to 18, I believe, or I did 1 to 12, and then 1 to 12. You guys can go back and look. It's one of them that my connection messed up, so I couldn't finish it. Keith says, let me read the chat. Keith says, America is Babylon, Babylonian goddess, Ishtar statue of liberty. You're right, Keith. You're totally right. And when I finish this, so people don't think that you're crazy, I'm going to show what you just said for you on the screen. So just bear with me, Keith. I love that you brought that information. I've been knowing that since 2014, right? So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to show that before I end this live. Thank you so much. And, just to, give you a little, just to back your words, I'm going to show that information that you mentioned. And I might host a live where I'm bringing people on. So again, if anybody want to come on and hold conversation, a conversation, a civilized conversation where we're just bringing out information, truth and all, not belittling and bashing one another, then yeah, we could hold a show and, talk about some of this stuff pertaining to scriptures. But I'm going to finish this last chapter and I'm going to bring up what you just said there, Keith. So Proverbs 31, last chapter, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to them which destroy kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and prevent the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead thy cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that she shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bring her food from afar. She rise also while it is yet night, and give meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. She consider a field and buy it, and with the fruit of with her hands she planted the vineyard. She gird her loins with strength and strengthen her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She lay her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretch out her hands to the poor. Yes, she reach forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She make herself coverings of tapestry and her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sit among the elders of the land. She make fine linen and sell it, and deliver girdles unto the merchants. Strong in honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She look well to the ways of her household, and she eat not the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and praise her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that fear the Most High shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So we finished the whole book of Proverbs in about 2 days due to technical difficulties. I could have did it in a day, but Okay, so bringing up this guy was talking about the Statue of Liberty. Well, it's not really Ishtar, but I'm gonna show you what the Statue of Liberty really is. Statue of Liberty and Apollo. The Statue of Liberty is Apollo, right? Let's take a look here. And we'll go into GreeceHighDefinition.com. And let's look at this. It's their homepage. You see they got this torch, right? The flame of Apollo, right? Same thing that the Statue of Liberty holds. Is there a connection between the Statue of Liberty and ancient Greece? This is from December 9th, 2020. What do you see here? Get up on screen. Okay. So it says here, the Statue of Liberty is a colossal neoclassical sculpture on Liberty Island in the New York Harbor within New York City in the United States, and was a gift from the French to the Americans. And it gives you the back history of this. It was designed by the French sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartholdi, and metal framework. And I got a video where this guy was a Mason, and the Freemasons are talking about this. I probably might do that in one of these videos. So this statue is really the Colossus of Rhodes, and it was a Greek statue. It was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, right? So this derives from Greece, right? One of those kingdoms, right? We are told that the 4th beast harbors all the power of the first 3 beasts, right? So you got Rome, Medo-Persia, and Greece, the Grecians, right? And America has this same thing, right? When it comes to, Egyptian influence as well, right? Why is the Washington Monument, right? Why is the Washington Monument the same as an Egyptian obelisk, right? Oops. And I'm going to show you that, right? And then I'm going to show you something very fascinating here. This is what it says right here. The Washington Monument was the tallest building in the world upon its completion in 1884. Built in the shape of an Egyptian obelisk. There you have it. Invoking the timelessness of ancient civilizations, the Washington Monument embodies the awe, respect, and gratitude the nation felt for its most essential founding father, right? So let's get into this. America and Egypt, right? Soulmates. Watch this. You're going to see that in this Tour Egypt article, they basically say that the United States is Egypt's little brother, right? So I'm just, slow leaking truth because, everybody keeps, the people that really understand scriptures, right, say that Egypt, America is the new Egypt, right? Watch what this article says. The United States and Egypt as Soulmates by Jimmy Dunn. And this is from touregypt.net, right? And it says here, it might shock many of our readers for me to assert that of all the countries of the world, hardly any two are closely related than United States and Egypt. But there are striking historical similarities between these two nations. Well, what are those two similarities? Oh, my mic was probably. The two historical similarities are Egypt back then in scriptures enslaved the Israelites, right? America also enslaved Israelites, right? Egypt, right, was they worshiped pagan deities. Well, America also worships these pagan deities such as Astaroth and all these other fake goddesses, even Apollo, as you see in the Washington Monument here, or the Statue of Liberty. So it says here, but there are striking historical similarities between these two nations. In every broad manner, Egypt is the United States' older brother, and there are important lessons to be learned from older brothers. This is certainly one of the reasons why many more Americans should visit this ancient land. Right? Go down there and visit it, and you'll see all the scrollings on the walls. Right? And then it goes into here, right? Goes into here and it talks about this, right? New world of North America. So I'm gonna also link this in the description so you guys can go and read this for yourselves. Like I say, I expect everybody to do their own research. Go and look into these things. So I'm gonna once again go in here, link this, and I'm gonna call it a day, guys. I just want to show that this guy in my chat isn't crazy for saying America is the new Babylon, Babylon the Great, Revelation 18 or 19 states, right? Babylon the Great, making all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. But again, let me put this here, linked in the description so you guys could go, so you guys can go and look for yourselves. Read the article, right? Let's go in here and read the article. Because again, I don't want anybody to say that I'm lying and I'm making stuff up and all that stuff. You guys could go and do this for yourself, right? Because I get tired of trying to leak info and, I get discredited. So there you guys go. Finishing up Proverbs. This is on the video that I'm doing now. You could go into the descriptions and go and read. All right. So with that said, I'm going to bring this live down. And let's see here. They put a Nebuchadnezzar statue in Las Vegas too. The internet is the new Tower of Babel, Neo-Babylonia. Yeah, I would say that too. Right. But all in all, guys, I'll hold a video or a live where I'll invite some guests on and you guys come on and have a voice. Speak what you know, what you see, give a little bit of insight and all that. I'm all about, having more than one opinion, right? Where I don't claim to be right about everything, but if I'm right about something and I looked into it, I'm not going to toss it out because what somebody else believes. No, that's not what I do. I stick to what I've read or whatever. So with that said, shalom, everybody, and I hope you all have a blessed day, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you guys go and study whole chapters. And also, if you guys want to see any of the stuff that I post on Facebook, you can go on over to Facebook and send me a friend request, because it's mostly information that I cannot post here as far as the current situation dealing with the CVS, the virus. And just to show you why, I'm telling you to go over to Facebook. If you want to find out information about that, I will start posting some more information about that over there, because I am once again on I'm on probation with YouTube here. I gotta be careful what I say, or else they're gonna bring me down. So let me show you guys why I can't talk about it and why I censor myself on that subject a little bit. See you, Rita. So again, this is what I face. This is the battle I have to wage when I try and get truth out. So let's go into my community guidelines strike, right? So I did this video here. I did, and I'm gonna blow it up. Was talking about this. You guys can go and look at this information, right? This got me warning. And then I did a second video down here called Wearing Out the Saints of the Most High. And in it, I mentioned some very, very interesting things and was showing some proof, but I got banned. And this is what shut me down for a week. And of course, if I go and appeal, all they're going to say is, nope, we're not going to do anything about it. And then if I do a false appeal, then they could shut my channel down. So I'm not even going to bother with YouTube. Okay. I just want you guys to see that. So I got to play nice. I got to watch what I talk about. So that's why I'm just sticking to scripture right now. I'm not really going into too much of anything, but I just want you guys to see that, I'm not able to put out certain stuff for a reason, because if it wasn't true, why block it? But again, it's the battle we all got to fight. Right? There are evil men trying to suppress the truth. So with that said, thank you for joining, everybody. And I'm about to get out here and go into the classroom and see what's being done on the earth. Shalom, everybody.